UK Pro Bs join with Bo from Three Kings Boxing. Remember, subscribe. We've been trying to do this for a hot minute, and it's finally landed 2021. He's here. They call him William H, the all-time great. Jay-Z. I quote Jay-Z, man. We're in the UK, but we know it. We know it.
You know it.
We are joined by the father and the manager of Devin Haney, Mr. Bill Haney. How are you, man?
Hey, brother, thank you, man, for having me. You know what I mean? How's London?
Hey, London, we're on lockdown at the moment. Not much is going on. It's all shut down. So we're waiting to get back to normality, hopefully in March, mid-March. What about yourself?
Man, the weather out here is fairly nice today. It was windy. It was a lot windy yesterday, but man, I love London, man. And I didn't get a chance to meet none of the good brothers when I was there. Eddie had brought us out, showed us a tremendous time. You know what I mean? We loved the place, man. You know what I mean? But it was raining. It was raining a little bit when we tried to go out. But man, it's amazing, man. We love London, man.
Hey, man.
Absolutely love it.
Next time you come over here, man, I will take you to, the Afro-Caribbean, restaurants, man. When we open up properly, man, you're going to have some of that rice and peas, man. You're going to have some of that jollof rice, man. I'm going to make sure, man.
That's right, brother.
Yeah. Do you know what? Okay, so we've got to kind of dive right in. Now,
well, hold on, wait a minute. Let's talk about the weather where I'm at. It's snowing, 3 feet of snow, and it's cold. It's -10. I'm in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago,
wow.
the real windy city. You know what I mean? The windy city.
Yeah.
Brother, listen, Chicago in the winter time Chicago and New York during the winter, I don't go there. But during the summertime, like for that what is it called? The Taste? Because I used to come out there around the Taste during the summer. Man, it was amazing. I used to have an amazing time out there. You know what I mean?
Hey, next time you're out here, man, I'm gonna take you to the best deep dish pizza place we got, man.
Oh, absolutely. And you look me up. When you come to Vegas, make sure we grab a bite too as well.
My man.
All right, man. Okay, man. Look, Bill, last time we spoke at the end of last year, you put me in touch with Devin.
Oh.
And I asked Devin, I said, look, what's happening with you and TeofImo Lopez? He said, look, hopefully New Year, we're going to get it cracking. But since then, there's been a few stumbling blocks. What can you tell me?
No more than I guess that you guys are seeing. A lot of flip-flopping, you know what I mean? A lot of inconsistencies coming from the Lopez's, both senior and junior. You know what I mean? And just like we always say, we want to make the fights that the people want to see, and not necessarily the ones that we're 100% interested in, And the people really have been clamoring for that fight for some time. It's out of respect for the Lopez's and what they've accomplished that we consider fighting them. We don't want to fight, pushovers or someone that people don't think, people know that we're going to beat, right? We want to make the fights that the people want to see, however big they are.
There was talk of Javier Fortuna also and Linares. So literally,
I haven't heard from. Have you heard from Javier Fortuna? Where are you at, Javier Fortuna? We've been looking for you since Showbox days. You come out of the bushes. You stop hiding. Wherever you are, Javier Fortuna, we are looking for you. You can get it now. Not next, now.
What about Linares? Obviously, Linares, a few years ago, he was recognized as one of the best fighters, P for P. And that would be a fantastic sculpt if Devin Haney was to fight, Linares and get a victory.
Oh, absolutely. Linares, we got big respect for Linares. Linares, is a former world champion. He's always in the fight. It's never that he comes to lay down. And Linares would be a perfect match should we not get, of course, Ryan Garcia or Javier Fortuna. That's both are mandatories.
Yeah. Hey, so you know what? You mentioned Ryan Garcia. Now, they were saying how Ryan Garcia was going to fight Manny Pacquiao. He had been, talking about Devin. Then he went to Tank. Then Pacquiao. Now Pacquiao's talking Crawford. How do you go about forcing the WBC to make Ryan Garcia fight you guys, man?
Well, I think Ryan Garcia would rather fight King Kong and run around Chicago in 20 below zero weather with pork chop draws on, being chased by a pack of lions, you dig, than fight Devin Haney.
But why is that though? Because the main reason why he took that fight with Luke Campbell was to go to Devin Haney route, because remember he had the WBO. So what is it like? What is it really about Devin that's making everybody be like, nah, we don't want to go that way?
Well, the thing about it is that I knew going into boxing that I learned early on that there's no secrets in boxing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Devin's talent speaks for itself, both and character, both in and outside the ring. You know, he exemplifies a throwback fighter. You know, both in his work ethic and his approach to the game. So, I mean, you know, these guys know what's happening because Ryan, are we still here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because Ryan, you know, I mean, they've had their infamous amateur battles. They've sparred in the gym. I mean, you know, like I say, it's no secrets in boxing. Devin has the skill set and the you know, the work ethic that will give, you know, anybody problems, fits, and chills about fighting them.
Okay. One last question, and Probeez, I'll go back to you. I've said this before, and I want you to hear me say it. I think the thing that's missing with Devin is he hasn't had that one fight that makes everybody go, oh shit. And he needs that one fight where he gets that spectacular knockout or that spectacular, like he outclasses fighters, we know this. But he needs that one fight, like when you look at Tank Davis and Santa Cruz, that knockout. He needs that one fight where everybody go, oh shit. And I believe that will force everyone to say, oh, now you got to fight him. Why do you think Devin hasn't had that oh shit moment? Or do you think he has? We just have been missing.
Well, there's been a whole lot of oh shit moments in our life with Devin and the sport of boxing. But what you must realize is if the respect came from his peers before it actually came before the boxing community, then we're fine with that. We know that by the fighters not calling him out, by the fighters not being a line around the corner, then that's the respect out of his peers that are not asking, and that means everything to us as well. You know, so of course we want the admiration of the fans. You know, but I hope that they can appreciate Devin for his name being in the hat and willing to at 22 fight virtually, you know what I mean, whoever it is in the 135-pound division.
You mentioned,
and not next, but now.
Yeah, I mean, Bo mentioned, obviously, it's kind of linked to the question that I'm going to ask, because Lopez has talked about, you know, he's fought, you know, Nakatani, Comey, and Loma, right? So we say none of these other guys, right, have stepped up to the plate and fought the caliber of opposition that I have. What do you make of his comments?
Well, I mean, when you talk about Nakatani, you talk about, well, let's just talk about Richard Comey and Lomachenko. It's not like that they were undefeated and they haven't been beaten, right? They had been beaten before. So, and I'm not sure about Nakatani. Was Nakatani undefeated? I'm not sure about that. Okay, but he wasn't. He wasn't a top 10 fighter then, and he's not a top 10 fighter now. So, for them to give, you know, so much praise to those guys, I mean, they have already been beat. One in Lomachenko, who was beat by Salido. Who Salido was then beat. Gamboa beat Salido. So it's like, you know, with us, it's not the certain respect. We don't give none of the fighters the respect that they give us.
Okay.
And that's because where they say respect, you know, is earned and not given. They haven't earned our respect.
Yeah, TeofImo Lopez was kind of quoted as saying in the media that, you know, he wants to give 3 to 5 years to Devin to save his career. Did you see those comments at all?
Right. We don't give him that respect. We don't give him 3 to 5 years. We don't give him 3 to 5 months. We say, let's do it now and not next. You see the inconsistencies where he comes out and says he has to fight as mandatory, right? When we know that a unification will trump any of that. We saw that Dave McWaters, his manager, came out and the athletic, and also stated that they could have had the opportunity to file an exception and fight Devin. So then you once hear, even after that, you say, well, TeofImo, what do you have planned after that? And he says, well, I'm sitting here at 135 waiting on Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, which shout out to Josh Taylor, who advised him to clean up his division and not just bullshit. See, when you got the fight, when you got the respect of your peers, then that's what you'll hear. You'll hear something like that from Josh Taylor. And for us to see TeofImo say that he's waiting on someone that's considering fighting him, right? Versus someone that's foaming at the mouth, salivating about fighting him, right? And Devin Haney.
Yeah. So
I need a Chicago fastball, man. Shoot me one of the Chicago fastballs, man.
I want you to go hard, man.
Up, man. I think you warming up, but man, you taking a long time, bro.
He's getting ready to give you that fireball.
I'm ready, no, I'm ready. So here we go. There was a lot of people feel there was nothing you guys got out of fighting Gamboa. Gamboa was just coming off injury, and he was just coming off of a loss. What was the main reason behind fighting Gamboa? Was it because the opponent you guys wanted you couldn't get, or was that just a DAZN thing from a financial standpoint?
Well, we also was coming off a loss. I mean, coming off of a shoulder surgery.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Don't let Devin hear you say that.
And we also had a hand injury, right?
Okay.
He had a hand injury, but that's not to say that Devin didn't grow as a fighter. As a young fighter, he's continually growing. And Gamboa was the one that raised his hand. He stepped up to the plate when no other fighter would, right? So we have to always say shout out to Gamboa, you know what I mean? Hopefully he's a future Hall of Famer, right? Who had 10 months prior on a torn Achilles, went I think 12 rounds with Gervonta Tank Davis. And that's the longest that anyone has went with him in his and Tank's career. You see a Leo Santa Cruz, who was actually digging in Tank's ass, get stopped, right? So when you say that Gamboa gave Tank 2 black eyes on a torn Achilles that he tore throughout the fight, and then to come back on a healthy 2 wheels and get shut out against Devin, it's, you know what I mean? And Gamboa being an awkward fighter, and anyone that knows boxing knows that a Cuban style fighter with a ring IQ such as Gamboa should present somewhat of a problem for Devin Haney, which, you know what I mean, we passed that with flying colors. So, you know, him being 22, we're at the mountaintop of the lightweight division, and for surely if we don't get the opponent at the top, then we have to pick something that will develop Devin more and get him more prepared. And like he always says, is if you don't get him now, then you're never going to get him. The best chance that you got at him is now.
Okay, and let's talk about this undisputed thing, because I always refer to TeofImo as unified. Have you guys had a conversation with the WBC? Because it feels sort of disrespectful to me when you have a belt that Devin Haney holds that some of the greatest all-time fighters in boxing have held versus a belt that's been created. Have you guys had a talk with the WBC about amending that or toning that down about TeofImo being undisputed because he's the franchise champion?
No, I mean, it's in terms of business, Top Rank, ESPN, you know, with the help of the WBC tried to make the biggest event that they possibly could out of the Loma and TeofImo Lopez fight. Okay. So, you know what I mean? After that, okay, it's settled in, it's passed, it's over with. You know what I mean? You have the belts that you have, and Devin has the belt that he has. Now is the question of what's wrong with now? That's our question. Okay. So you guys did that for that. So that was accomplished, right? Even though it's not necessarily bringing the monetary value that he would like it to bring, because in order to get this money, you got to be really willing to go in that lion's den and go get it. So when, you know, Eddie, when we did our partnership with Eddie, we came on as as contenders. We were right there. We were coming in. I called to negotiate the fight with Luke Campbell with him. Was the first time that we got on the phone, and we decided that it would be better instead of the Luke Campbell, instead of continuing talking about Luke Campbell, that we talked about some things that we could do together. And so far, I'm 100% happy with what's been accomplished.
My man.
Bill, how's it going with you bidding for the Lopez and Cambosis fight?
You know, it would be a sealed bid, right? We're talking about it, you know what I mean? We're in the process of just trying to make it happen, you know, ironing out the numbers and stuff like that so we could put something realistic together, you know. But like I said, it's a great time to be in the Devin Haney business and be able to even consider or even make these kind of moves. And I think as time goes on, you know, we'll be stronger as a company, you know what I mean? And some of these things are going to be no-brainers.
Is there an argument, Bill, that Devin could do with one more kind of signature fight? I know we touched on it earlier. You know, we talked about the nares, but I mean, to get some of these other names on his resume may make the fight with Lopez for the undisputed even bigger if he sends out a statement in a next fight, before that fight.
Well, we always talk about styles makes fights, you know, and when you talk about different styles and wanting to see your favorite fighter being tested, I think that Devin he's a quintessential boxer. His style is similar to some of the greats, you know what I mean? No need to mention them, but that's it. That's what makes boxing so beautiful, is that you'll see a puncher versus another puncher. You'll see a puncher versus a boxer, puncher, you know, and alike. You can just interchange it. And that's what makes it so fun in it. You know, Devin is being described as not having the power and these things, then show us. You know what I mean? It's a reason why that these guys are not lining up around the corner to fight him. So we're comfortable with the style that he has, and we just look to continue on, you know, on a path of greatness.
Yeah, Bill, you there something came out about how you're I think you're going to step down or step away from some of the management duties for Devin to be more at home. But it still seems like you're highly involved in what's going on with Devin. Are there still going to be some involvement from you, particularly because, you know, when it comes to your son, you're always going to want to make sure he has the best. So to a certain degree, are you still going to be somewhat involved in certain things you feel you have to be involved in when it comes to Devin?
Oh, absolutely, brother. I'm going to be involved in Devin and with Devin, you know what I mean, to the day I take my last breath. I think that what the misinformation might have been, that I was stepping down or stepping away from the training aspect, being a head trainer and not the business. I've always maintained that I would do any part of his business or help him with any part of his business, like I say, till I take my last breath. You know, so coming on and talking and doing the interviews and trying to make the fights happen and suggesting what opponents there are, and you know what I mean, all those things I'm doing them, you know, I mean, even more so now than before, because I'm allowed a little bit of time, more time to say do it, because we're trying to figure out this training stuff, who we're going to bring in. But I'm in the gym with Devin every day, you know what I mean, until we make that decision. And you know, and it was more so about becoming even stronger and understanding, okay, could we go, you know, to the drawing board and draw up a play that will bring in an experienced trainer, which we have a plethora of different trainers and stuff that have mentored Devin throughout his whole growth. And you know, me letting someone come in and do that part, and then me focusing on the business aspect 100%. So, you know, right now it's still me and Devin, right? And you know what I mean? And we have no you know, we have no reservations about doing it the way we've been doing it. You know what I mean? But as a team, you always want to get stronger and you want to see, okay, how can you make this thing better? So, and if it meant bringing in someone to handle the business or bringing in someone to handle the training, I think that I'm more qualified to bring in to continue to do the business than anyone that we could bring in, because we don't have a plethora of different managers that do a great job with Devin, right? We just have the experience. We have trainers that we've worked with, but I've been the only manager since Devin has started his professional career.
Okay. And then one more thing, man. When you look at the sport of boxing, a lot of father-son dynamics have not all, they start out good, but they don't always end that way. Being a father, when you see certain things, like I think I remember one fight, Chris Maddox said, Devin Haney, he's a mandatory for Devin Haney, but who cares? Or it's almost like, how do you handle being a father when you hear certain entities being dismissful about your son and his accomplishments, man?
Of course, you always, as a father, you want to react, you know what I mean? But then as from a business standpoint, you have to, you know what I mean? You have to take a break, and then, you know what I'm saying? So it's not easy, bro. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you. It is not easy.
Right. Because I can only imagine the protective nature that you have, especially being a black father, being a proud black father, watching your son. I can only imagine the control it must take not to run up on some of these dudes when you see them. Like, hey, man, you know that's not, you shouldn't be talking like that about another fighter because it hurts the sport.
Right. Well, I mean, one thing that I would point out too is just, I think parents in general want to do the most they can for their kids, and it's not just black fathers, it's just parents in general. Because if you'll see, some of the most wealthiest parents have been charged with SAT fraud and trying to get their kids into colleges that, get ahead of other kids that aren't as advantaged, or ain't as privileged, I should say, wrong word, aren't as privileged. They want to still get them up even ahead of them. You know what I mean? So it's always a struggle to get the just due for your kid. You know what I mean? And that's all that I want. I don't want him to cheat or anything like that. I just want him a fair shot at his dream of being mentioned with one of the greats, mentioned with the greats in the sport of boxing.
All right, Bill, just to kind of conclude, we're running out of time. I saw something probably about 6 weeks ago about Gervonta Davis talking about sparring with your son, Devin Haney. He said that the first time he almost knocked out your son during sparring, and then I think it was in the latter rounds, he said that Devin quit. Can you shed any light on that story that was
oh, absolutely. I mean, Gervonta Davis is a hell of a talented fighter. He's been a bad motor scooter for a long time. We traveled from California out to Baltimore to the Upton Gym to get some work with him, to just kind of see where we were and what we needed to work on. And he gave us a lot, brother. He gave us a lot to go home and work on. Devin went home and he worked on that. And the next time that he seen him, he cooked his ass.
Like some ribs?
like some baby back ribs, man.
You know what? I think that's a perfect end to a fantastic interview. We got to shout out William H. As Jay-Z says,
brother,
the
I appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to Pep Talk UK, man. You know what I mean? We appreciate all the love that you brothers is giving us out there. You know what I mean? And anytime that you're in Las Vegas, man, please, man, both of you brothers, man, come by and see me. Let's grab a bite to eat.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I fancy a fat burger, definitely.
Yep, this Three Kings boxing, by the way, Bill.
Oh, no, wait, I always see Three Kings boxing. Because you do a lot of not just videos, but you do also print, right? Like the stories and stuff.
Yep.
I'm always reading your stuff, brother. Yeah, you're doing a great job, man. You're doing a great job, brother.
They are, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I the videos, right? And no shot at anyone, but I'm an old guy. I like to read too. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean?
Reading is better.
Yeah.
Huh? Sometimes I find reading better than
Yes,
watching the videos.
yes. Because
I
you
get
get
straight to the quotes. Yeah.
Right. But with reading, so I read it and then you go back, you read back again, you'll read that paragraph again, you know what I mean, digest it, then move on. It's kind of hard with the video because you'll hear something and then you'll hear something again and then you know what I mean? So with reading, I can go back and then, you know what I'm saying, internalize everything. So brother Three Kings, shout out to you. You guys are what you're doing, man. And Pro B's in the house.
Hey man, you'd like to thank the man himself, Bill Haney.
Appreciate you, King. Y'all stay safe out there, okay? Blessings on top of blessings, man. Wish everybody and their family well.
Thank you. Thanks, Bill.
All right, peace.
Out, y'all. Thank you.